Hello and welcome to Agenda 2030. I am Toyin Nkamiang John. The quest for the attainment of the Sustainable Development Goals requires strategic partnerships across multi-stakeholder levels with all hands on deck. On Agenda 2030 this week, we'll be bringing to you the efforts in fostering strategic partnerships for the goals and their impact. Do stay with us.
Agenda 2030, showing on this channel. Agenda 2030, leaving no one behind.
As part of its continued efforts to galvanize actions towards the implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals in Nigeria, the United Nations country team in Nigeria recently brought stakeholders to a 3-day retreat. The retreat was aimed at devising strategies for further enhancement of support of the UN system for the implementation of the SDGs in Nigeria. Take a listen. The year 2020 witnessed the outbreak and global spread of COVID-19 virus, which has had a great impact on the health and socio-economic environment in many countries, including Nigeria. The year also saw the commencement of the Decade of Action for the Sustainable Development Goals, with a call for increased effort towards the attainment of the SDGs. It was in line with the need for continuous contribution to the efforts geared towards attaining the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and the SDGs that the Office of the Resident and Humanitarian Coordinator of the United Nations in Nigeria recently held a retreat in Suleja, Niger State, to mobilize support for the SDGs. With the theme Strengthening United Nations Country Team Support to SDGs Implementation Going Forward, the retreat availed the team the opportunity to evaluate the challenges brought by the COVID-19 as well as reformulate new ways of doing work in the context of the new normal and to build back better. The retreat also provided a platform for reflection on collective support to SDGs implementation in the country against the devastating impact of COVID-19. After 3 days of high-level opening and rigorous brainstorming, the team emerged with key recommendations on how to improve and realign the United Nations country team collective contribution to the implementation of SDGs in Nigeria. The United Nations Resident and Humanitarian Coordinator in Nigeria, Edward Callon, in his remarks, commended President Muhammadu Buhari for the milestones recorded in the implementation of SDGs in Nigeria in the past 5 years. He, however, harped on the need for the United Nations country team members and UN personnel in Nigeria to be more responsive to needs as they emerge, while collectively supporting the Nigerian government in the implementation of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and the SDGs.
Our retreat here is one of those series of annual planning meetings where we meet as a UN country team to review our work in the country and also explore those opportunities that are so critical in supporting the government to achieve its development aspiration. The SDGs are the heartbeat for better recovery in Nigeria. And I think what we are doing here is trying to recalibrate our efforts as a UN system to support the government to accelerate implementation of the SDGs during the Decade of Action.
Also speaking, the Senior Special Assistant to the President on SDGs, Princess Adejoke Orelope-Adefulire, noted that her office has been working closely with the United Nations Development System to strengthen SDGs implementation in Nigeria. She added that her office and the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari remains committed to working and partnering with the UN on various policies and programs aimed at fast-tracking the achievement of the 2030 Agenda and SDGs in Nigeria.
In the last 5 years, we have worked closely with the United Nations Development System to strengthen SDG implementation capacity at all levels of government in Nigeria. Glad to say that my office has partnered with UNDP, UNICEF, UN Women, and the Resident Coordinator's Office, and other UN agencies to support various policies and programs aimed at fast-tracking the achievement of SDGs.
The governor of Niger State, Abubakar Sani Bello, who was represented by the Secretary to the State Government, Alhaji Ahmed Ibrahim Matane, gave firm commitment of the Niger State government to work with the OSSAP-SDGs, the United Nations system, and other stakeholders for the actualization of the SDGs in the state.
At the state level, we have continued, to provide, some veritable platform for partnership to ensure that, we are on track on the attainment of the SDGs come 2030.
Professor Ibrahim Gambare, the Chief of Staff to President Muhammadu Buhari, who was represented by his senior special assistant, Inyefiok Johnson, pledged government's commitment to the realization of the goals in Nigeria.
We operate a governance system that aims to decentralize decision-making at the 3 tiers of government. It therefore means that strengthening your support, especially to SDG implementation, will require specifically tailored interventions for last-mile support delivery to the states and to the local governments.
Senior Technical Advisor to the Senior Special Assistant to the President on SDGs, Dr. Bala Yunusa, made a presentation of Nigeria's SDGs Implementation Plan 2020 to 2030.
This is the domestication and the customization of the Nigeria Integrated Sustainable Development Goal Simulation model, which is just a system dynamic model that was then homegrown based on Nigerian context that should help and guide our policy making at the national and at the subnational level. We realigned, or we began the process immediately of realigning the national statistical system with the requirements and indicators of the SDGs, with UNDP, National Bureau of Statistics, and the Office of the Senior Special Assistant. What we aim to achieve with this is that on an annual basis, we will be able to track progress in the overall implementation of the SDGs through our national statistical system that is realigned with the 230 key performance indicators.
The United Nations Development System UNDS reform is driven by the collective responsibility to be fit for purpose in the implementation of the ambitious 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and the SDGs in line with the United Nations General Assembly Resolution of 72-279 of May 2018. Next, we'll bring you the first phase of the collaborative efforts between the National Assembly and the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Sustainable Development Goals as the country continues to push for the attainment of the Sustainable Development Goals. Here's a report. The quest for the attainment of the Sustainable Development Goals requires strategic partnerships across vertical and horizontal lines with all hands on deck. Incidentally, Goal 17 of the SDGs sufficiently provided for this. It was in line with this philosophy that the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Sustainable Development Goals has been working strategically with all stakeholders, including the National Assembly. Indeed, the legislature has a major role to play in the actualization of the goals. Aside providing legislative backing and effective legislation for the implementation of the global agenda, members of the National Assembly have also, in collaboration with the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Sustainable Development Goals, been providing pro-poor and pro-development projects for the constituents. Some of the projects include blocks of classrooms, healthcare facilities and consumables, water, skill acquisition centers, and empowerment programs. Senator Theodore Ahamefule Orji, representing Abia Central Senatorial District, and Senator Robert Ajayi Boroffice are two of the legislators that have been making impact through the strategic collaboration. For Senator T.A. Orji, a member of the Senate Committee on Sustainable Development Goals, the collaboration is helping to boost education in the state, as evident in the construction of 12 ultra-modern classroom blocks, each at Community Primary School Okuta in Umuahia North Local Government Area and Ikemwusi Primary School in Isialangwa South Local Government Area. The projects, which were completed by the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Sustainable Development Goals, were commissioned on January 2, 2021. The federal lawmaker and former governor of Abia State, in an interview, hinted that he was moved to complete the project because he wanted the children of the ordinary man to study under a comfortable environment in the spirit of leaving no one behind.
I've been able, through SDG, from December last year, December 2020, January, I think 20th December last year, till January, 1st January, 2nd January, through SDG, I attracted 2 solid schools in my constituency. One in Umuahia North constituency, local government, where I built 12 classroom blocks from foundation to finish, and provision of furniture and everything. And I'm happy to report that as I speak with you, that school is fully occupied by students. They are making use of it, and they're very happy about it. Then I provided another one in Isialangwa South Local Government, which belongs to my constituency. Same school, from foundation to finish, including furnishing. They put even ceiling fans. And the natives who loved what I did came to provide a genset to power the fan. And right now, that place is fully occupied by pupils, and they're happy about it. Very, very happy about it. If I hadn't provided that, the existing classrooms were congested. You see pupils squeezing themselves, and it is not good for this COVID right now. But this one has given them space, and even given them space to accommodate, to bring in more people. So I feel happy about it, and my people, my constituents, are very, very happy about that. That is for schools. From that same December last year to now, I attracted 2 health centers of international standard, not health centers that is anyhow, of international standard. I had to go home, stay with my people, and they donated land. They donated their land because they trusted me. Because there are some people who will go and you say, donate your land. They will not. They donated land. One, Umuahia North local government, a place known as Ukome, that hasn't seen this type of thing before. And that health center is almost 90% completed. Then another one in Ikuano local government. Ikuano local government. The same standard, the same everything. And it is also 90% completed right now. It only remains 10%. The completion this thing will be okay. And we supervised these jobs because we have an idea of the contractors who are doing it. So you can pursue them when they are lagging behind. You pursue them, you push them, they will do the job. And the natives also came and helped them, gave them encouragement. So they're encouraged to do that. And that is why we have achieved 90% completion. By now, I'm speaking with you, it will be over 90%, it should be around 95 or almost 98% completion. It's just finishing touches. Within this period also, I have, this period I gave you from December till now, I have renovated 2 existing health centers that were dilapidated. One in Umuahia North Another one in Isialangwa. Those ones, the one in Umuahia has been completed. The one in Isialangwa is yet to be completed. Then, within this period, I have constructed a road. We constructed a road, and that road should be about 1 kilometer or so. That was put in the budget. It was just for grading. The people came and begged, how can you grade it? And I saw with them, if you grade the road alone, this rainy season, it will be washed off. I said, okay, what we'll do is to add something for them. So I pleaded with the contractor, brought him back. After grading the road, he now had to put concrete on the road, and now is asphalting the road with side drains. 2 on both sides, side drains. Is there for people to go and see. The interesting thing is that this was accomplished. This was accomplished from December last year till now that I'm speaking with you. So the speed.
Senator Orji also revealed that through his annual scholarship scheme, over 450 undergraduates from Abia Central Senatorial District have in the past 5 years benefited from the education scheme. He is also renovating Osokwa Primary School in Osisiomangwa local government area, carrying out perimeter fencing and renovation works at Michael Primary School, Umuahia, and Methodist Primary School, OSA, in Umuahia North Local Government Area, including other completed projects across the 6 local government areas in Abia Central Senatorial District waiting for inauguration.
I have a scholarship program which I initiated in 2015 when I was coming to the Senate. I said, okay, how do I help my constituents? I decided, myself and my family, and said, what we'll do is to start offering university scholarship for 60 people every year, 10 from each local government, because I have 6 local governments that make up my constituency. So every year we choose 10 people from each local government based on 5 based on intelligence, 5 based on those who are very indigent. So that has been on till now. And this year, I increased the number from 60 to 100.
In the same vein, Senator Ajayi Boroffice, representing Ondo North Senatorial District, also a member of the Senate Committee on SDGs, has also been leveraging on the collaboration to positively impact his constituents. Senator Boroffice, in an interview with Agenda 2030, stated that through the SDGs and zonal intervention projects, he has been able to attract various developmental projects and skills acquisition programs that have tremendously benefited his constituents.
The patronage we have enjoyed from the SDG also involved the education center. We have built so many classrooms. You know, your classroom comes in different grades. I mean the SDG. Some with the 6 classrooms with VP's office, some with 3 classrooms with a toilet and borehole, some with different categories. And we have tasted all the varieties that you have. And through the patronage of SDG, we have put on so many blocks, classrooms. We just completed 3 now. One in Imiri, another one in Owani, in Ose local government, one in Ugbe, in Akoko Northeast local government. And in my own town, with my own alma mater, Christ School, Oka, we were able to get patronage for 2 big, blocks of classrooms with principal's office, with furniture, and with toilet facilities. So these are very, very impactful on the educational sector. Let me tell you something. My alma mater, shamefully, the primary school, they was left with only one block of 2 classrooms. All other things were gone. And they were having lessons in shift, and someone under the tree. When the Teachers' Parents Association approached me to assist, then SDG just came on board. And since then, we have put up 4 blocks of classroom buildings. We have fenced the school. We are putting up a hall, what we call the assembly hall for them. We have done a football playing ground for them. And it's like a model school now, in town. And it started with what the SDG stimulated in us. So we have so many of the projects in Ikaro, in Ifon. We have one SDG project in the classroom. We have one in Zedai, two, in Zedai Primary School in Oka. We have one in Iwaro Oka, which is also building. Beyond this, SDG has also been very helpful in the area of boreholes. We just completed 10 boreholes, hand pumps, boreholes, in different parts of my senatorial district. We have enjoyed the support of the SDG in providing tricycles, which we call Kekendampep. I think the first one I got from the SDG was 21, which we, of course, use in empowering the people. And the motorcycles also, and you have done very well. I mean, SDG have done very well in this area. We have enjoyed the patronage in the area of generators, small generators, which again we have given to our people. And also pepper grinding machine. Whatever SDG gives us, we also add our own to it, to distribute to the people. We collaboration with you, I think we are trying to alleviate poverty and provide means of livelihood for our people. We have built about a number of skill acquisition centers. One is in Ifon, one is in Okai, my place, one is in Ikaramo, one is in Ikare, the one in Owo, local government, is ongoing now. And the first furnishing with our equipment we have done is on machines for leather work, sewing, bags, shoes, belts, anything that is leather. So we will start training the trainer to start with. When we train the trainers, then we run a sort of an academy where people will come, we train them maybe for 6 months or more. They go back on their own. If we can assist them by looking for funds from Bank of Industry or from any other thing, we have it. And in my time, we have already built what we call business incubation center. So when you graduate from this academy we are trying to set up, you already have a cubicle. I call it a cubicle, where you can start off. It's a cubicle that is not going to be expensive for you, because we are putting in that center generator for you, so you don't pay for electricity. We're going to provide you with secretarial studies, you don't know how to hire your own secretary yourself. We're going to provide security, so you don't have to hire security for yourself. We're going to put water there. So you just move in to a place like this, my office, and do your business for about 6 months or 1 year, after which we feel you should be able to stand on your own. If you look at it, it's an area where we can really empower people.
As the global community accelerates efforts in the decade of action for the SDGs, education, economic empowerment, good health and well-being remains an integral aspect of the global agenda as they seek to ensure a literate, wealthy and healthy society. The Senior Special Assistant to the President on Sustainable Development Goals, Princess Adejoke Orelope-Adefulire, said her office will continue to support stakeholders' effort and welcomes all collaborations aimed at collectively actualizing the goals in Nigeria. The presidential aide believes that for an enduring and sustainable educational system to be actualized, both teachers and students require a conducive learning environment for knowledge to be imparted.
We have too many people outside the school environment, out of school children. And of course, the need to maintain the existing, to create an enabling environment for those people that are in school and make provision for those that we want to bring back to school. You recall that the president inaugurated the steering committee on alternate school. The essence of all of these things is to make sure that we get all the school children of school age back in school. The intervention is to support the Federal Ministry of Education, support the subnational government Ministry of Education, and ensure that more of our young people that are out of school are back in school.
But beyond the provision of pro-poor projects and other social amenities to the people, the lawmakers have also been contributing immensely through legislative supports in a bid to deepen the implementation of the goals. Both Senator Orji and Senator Boroffice also gave their views on what needs to be done as the country intensifies efforts towards attaining the SDGs.
I join all my colleagues in the Senate and the House of Representatives to continue to do what they are doing, to use the opportunity provided by the SDG to carry development to their various constituencies, and also to mobilize their various communities to own those projects and make the best use of it.
SDG has lofty programs, if not well pursued, may elude us. If there are ways the Senate can make these things by way of legislative backing, to make some of these things to be legal, that we will do, to make sure that it's permanent and concretized. So that even if we live here, the incoming senators will stand on that and move ahead.
Remember, you can always watch this program and other episodes by subscribing to our YouTube channels on youtube.com/FreshNewsTV and youtube.com/Agenda 2030 TV. You can also watch the program live on Facebook. Just log on to www.facebook.com/FreshNewsNG and www.facebook.com/Agenda 2030 TV. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Agenda 2030 TV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Remember to drop your comments and share with your contacts. Do use the hashtag Agenda 2030 and hashtag Agenda 2030 TV. And that's how much we can take on the program this week. Do keep a date with us next week for another insightful episode. I am Tony Nkamiang John. Thank you for staying with us.